Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Welcome to the King's Hour. My name is Antwon King, and on this show, I'll be playing some of my favorite hip-hop and R&B songs. So sit back, relax, turn the volume up, and tell a friend, baby. Let's get it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Another episode of the King's Hour. We are back, baby. Hopefully everybody's been off to a great start to their weekend. You know, we got a very special guest I'm about to bring in right now. Very special. You know, it's only right. This is Black History Month, and we got somebody that's representing not just history, but the present, the future, still making great, great music. Brand new album on the way, February 14th. Let's bring him on in here. This is the legendary Danny Boy.
What's up, sir? How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How you feeling today?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for taking the time out, man, to talk to me and let me on the platform, man. And I'm always at home, on the hot station, baby.
Oh, man, this is so great to have you on. You know, shout out to my daughter. Today is my daughter's birthday, my youngest daughter. She's 2 years old today.
Happy birthday, right on.
That's from Daddy Boy, baby girl. He told you happy birthday.
Wow. Amazing, man.
That's amazing, man. But we're starting, this is the first show of February. We're celebrating Black History Month. And like I said, man, I'm just so grateful to have you on today. And we're going to talk about the new album, the Stranded on Death Row autobiography. You know, so let's get into it. And what I want to do, let's start from the jump. Let's start from the beginning. You know, because you were born and raised in Chicago, correct?
Yes, Chi-Town, baby, born and raised on the west side of Chicago, man.
Okay. And when you first got into singing, like, how did you first get into it?
So, man, I come from a family full of singers, and known for gospel music. But, man, I got to give the first thanks to my mom, man, my first inspiration. My mom had 7 strokes when she was pregnant with me.
Oh my
And
God.
she was not only known her impediment, of her speech impediment. I never really knew her regular singing voice, and she was a protege of Maya Angelou. So I never knew any of those vocals from her, but I just feel like God had given me what she lost, and, at a very young age, and that's what I work with, man. I keep my mother alive through that.
That's amazing. So you said you started off singing in the church?
Yeah, absolutely. Started off as a little boy, man, watching my aunties and uncles sing in church. And, my mother and grandmother went to a concert one time of a girl by the name of Davion Richardson. And they went to her concert and they came back and they were saying how well she just sang. And, oh, she just sung and da-da-da-da-da. Before you know it, man, I was standing up in church on a chair singing that next Sunday in church. And me doing that, I guess my grandmother became my first booking agent because I found myself singing in a lot of churches, and even in school, I started getting into talent shows and things like that as well.
Man, so you're in Chicago. You coming up singing in the church. When did you decide? Okay, I want to take this serious. I want to start singing R&B music. Like, when did you make that transition?
So I as I said, I come up in church, but my old man, rest in peace to my dad. My dad was the one that he was real old school. He was born December 26, 1926, so he was really old school. And when I would talk to him about church, he'd come to church. He'd say, "Every time I put a suit on you on Sunday, I'm at church with you." He would buy me suits every Sunday, but my old man would bring me up in was brought up in a tavern with my dad. Like, my dad was either a partner in a tavern or hung around in different taverns in Chicago, and I just remember him just sitting me on the jukebox on some of those days, man, and I would put coins in there. And that's why I got that R&B side of those artists, of the Donny Hathaways, Anita Bakers, and Freddie Jackson, and all of those people. So that's what kind of got me out of the realm of just gospel music. My old man kind of opened me up to more like blues and R&B music, and it went from there.
Wow, it's amazing. A lot of my favorite singers, including yourself, they all have that background.
Yeah.
Because with churches, as you know, you get a mic and you go for
Yeah.
what you know. There's nothing to help you. You got to stand up
Hmm.
there and do it for real every
That's right.
time.
If
And
you get a mic.
if you get a mic may be shorting out on you. Sometimes you got to drop the mic and sing and project out
Yeah,
to every. But I think,
sound like you went to the same church, King.
you know what I mean? Like we all experience it. But the
Yeah,
fact that you have
absolutely.
to really know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
when you guys really become artists and step out, like a few of us can tell, like, oh no, he can really sing. No,
Oh
this
wow,
ain't
thank
no.
you,
Oh man,
man.
you more than welcome, man.
Thank you,
You
man.
a legend out here, especially
Oh
like,
wow, thank you, man.
man, you're a part of an album. My favorite album ever made is All Eyes on Me, hands down.
Wow,
You know
wow.
that's my favorite album ever made. I just think, as far as the goal with music, you want to cover different emotions, and on
Yes,
that album, you can party,
it went
you
there.
can chill,
Yeah,
you can cry to it.
yeah,
It covers so many things. When you're angry, there's a song for it. Like All Eyes on
absolutely.
Me is a work of art, and you being on one of the strongest tracks on there. I don't want to rush
Wow.
because we got time. I do not want to rush and jump to that part yet, but man, I'm just grateful to have you on. Let's talk
Thank you,
about
man.
you leaving Chicago. Let's talk about
Yes.
you leaving Chicago. So, did you just come out to California? How did that happen?
So I was with an independent record company, and they were shopping some deals for myself, a group by the name of Crucial Conflict that
Shout out to
nobody knew
Crucial
at that time.
Conflict.
Yeah,
Hey, in
no
the middle
doubt.
of the barn, y'all.
Yeah,
Come on
that's
now.
right. And another group by the name of Fusky. We all were shopping a deal out in California, and there was few labels that was looking at me. But before I went to the meeting that I was supposed to have, we stopped at Interscope. And Suge Knight walked in, and he talked to the guy that took me down there, and he was like, "Man, bust something." He thought I was gonna rap, and I sang something. I started singing, and he's like, "Wait a minute, wait, wait." He walked out the room, got this little short white guy. The little short white guy came back. He was like, "Sing that shit again," and I sung again, and he immediately made an offer. Suge immediately made an offer to the guy that he's like, "Y'all ain't even gotta go to the next meet. Shit, I'll give you 250,000 for him." And it ended up being a great deal, not only monetary, but to be a part of, get a chance to sign to Death Row Records. I really didn't know nothing about hip hop. Yeah, I heard the Gin and Juice songs, the songs previous to me getting there, but it took a minute for me to kind of realize what I was around. I knew was powerful because it felt like I was with a major record company, which I was, which became to me the Motown of the '90s.
I was just thinking the same thing. You guys were like the Avengers. You had so many, like, you guys were like superheroes all coming together on this same label. And
Yes.
how old were you and what year was this when Suge
So
offered
I
that?
was 15, about to turn 16 years old,
Oh, wow.
somewhere like 94, 95, going into, yeah, 94, 95. And I didn't sign it until a couple weeks or maybe a couple days before my birthday. So I had been around them for a while, but I signed my deal when I was like 15, maybe 16 years old. And I was just out there, man, just a dude trying to follow his dream from church. You know what I mean? I went out there, and the dude that took me out there after he got the check, he left me out there, so to say, and I was just out there kind of, winging my way through it. And I had the opportunity. Shield took me under his wing, and I later was like he later became my legal guardian after my mother passed, and it was an experience that one book couldn't tell.
Right, right, right. I'm sure it's a whole lot. I mean, you being around at that time, 94, 95. That's after the Chronic had already dropped and
Yes.
came out, right? And
Yep,
so
absolutely.
you were there before Tupac had arrived, before
Yeah,
he was signed to Death Row.
yeah,
And I'm trying to just pinpoint it, but the Dog Pound, everyone is there.
yeah.
And
I
you're
actually
hot.
did Murder Was a Case.
Murder was the
The Murder Was a
case.
Case. That was my first actual recording to be released. Was the Murder Was a Case album. They had already kind of wrapped up the album. They were wrapping it up in the mixing stages. But when I got there as well, DJ Quick, he was another one. That took me under his wing like a little brother, man. And the music that he came up with, instantly, Suge wanted to put something on the Murder Was a Case album. So that was kind of like my first release, which was called Come When I Call.
Come when
And
I
I,
call.
I was excited, man, because my mom had an opportunity to hear that and see it. And
That
it
that
wasn't something that a kid should be singing, but
Right, but that is so dope that your mom got to at least see that. Like my
Yes.
son is, he was
Yeah.
able to take it to, I mean, to have your first song produced by
Yeah.
legendary DJ Quick and for your
Yeah,
mom to
man.
hear it, that's a big deal, man.
And my
That's,
mama was taking that record. It was a green and red vinyl that they were giving out, and I gave my mother one, and my mother was like the president of the nurses aid board for the pastor, and my mother would walk with that album in her arm on Sunday mornings, man, for weeks at a time, walking in, showing that record off. So I'm just amazed at her, like you said, for her to be able to see that, and shortly after she passed, but. Every time I sing, man, it's like, everything that I'm working on, even right now today, is for her.
man, that's amazing.
Yes, sir.
I know what it's like not to have your mom around. I lost my mom too, so I can totally
Yeah,
understand that, man. Rest in peace
yeah,
to your
man.
mother.
Rest in peace. Same to
I'm
you.
sure she's. Thank you, man. I'm sure she's proud of you, and
Yeah,
you maintain it. In life we all have our ups and downs, but you maintaining, you doing it. So I know she's proud. So you put out Slip and Slide. No, I'm sorry.
yeah,
You put out Come When I Call with DJ Quick.
yeah, yep,
It makes one of the best soundtracks ever. That was the thing with Death Row. Y'all, whenever y'all touch the soundtrack,
yeah.
those things still get
Shook had
played
those on
today.
lock.
Like
Shook had the
if
soundtrack on lock.
Suge came out with a soundtrack, everything else, like you just put it on and you let it play.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So you
Absolutely.
put out that work on Murder Was the Case. So what was next for you after that? Did you start working on your solo album?
So, during that time, I was working on an album, and I was working with some of the greatest producers and other artists, fellow artists that was out at that time. A group by the name of Portrait was writing some material for me. Warren Campbell was playing and writing a lot of stuff, and Warren Campbell later became, the producer and the husband of Tina Campbell of Mary Mary. So I had an opportunity to work with all those great artists, and Babyface produced a song um, for me later after that on another soundtrack. I think the Gridlock soundtrack. He produced a song by the name of "It's Over Now," and that was kind of like my first video to be released. I think it was my first. Yeah, that was my first video to be released. Then I went to work with Devontae. So it's like Suge had me like with all of the major people. You know what I mean? I had an opportunity to work with Devontae Swing, one of the best producers and writers, in the '90s. And that's when I met Genuine, and he sang the backgrounds on the song called "Slip and Slide." And Suge was telling me, in this video, man, you gonna walk on damn water." And I'm like, "Yeah, guy." And literally, man, they had me like out in Cabo St. Lucas, walking on plexiglass. You know what I mean? Where the water was super deep, and I'm way out there, and I'm walking on it. I can't swim, and all I can think is I'm singing this damn song. And if you look in the video, I'm scared to kind of move, but it's
Right.
scuba divers on both sides swimming to keep me safe. But uh,
Is that
yeah, it was
video
quite an
still on
experience.
YouTube? Is that video on YouTube?
Absolutely, it's called Slip and Slide. It's
Hey, y'all go check it out, man.
go check it out.
Produced
It's
by
one of the only
Devontae, right?
well, it's produced by Devontae Swing, and one of the only videos I think Tupac, as far as the R&B is concerned, the only R&B video Tupac ever was in, because Death Row flew everybody off from Death Row. All the artists went to Cabo St. Lucas, and we filmed this video.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So you filmed the video,
yeah,
and you working with heavyweights. I mean, Baby
yeah,
Dub,
man,
Warren Campbell,
yeah,
Babyface, Devontae Swing. All of these are like these producers still matter out here. These producers,
absolutely.
you
These
working with
producers
the
went to
best
eat a
of the
very long
best,
time.
right? Like
Absolutely,
the best of the best, man. Like
yeah,
for you to come in and be that young and to get that guidance so early on, you know,
yeah,
I would if I was you, I'm like, okay, we gearing up for an amazing project, right?
yes,
So
yes,
you're recording this music, and then all of a sudden, uh, Tupac is coming to Death Row. Tupac comes home.
yeah.
So how did you end up on so many records on All Eyes on Me? How did
Wow,
that
man,
happen?
that shit was so organic. Like, you know what I mean? And one thing I could say is first, because I don't want to make it sound all about me, because one thing on that record, we see that the spotlight was on uh, Tupac, and everybody was waiting to hear what he was coming with. But even though that spotlight was on him, he made sure that you were able to shine on that stage, that same stage with him. So many artists, got an opportunity for people to know their names on the All Eyes on Me album. So many artists was rejuvenated as artists, like people hadn't heard from them, and once they got on the song with him, everybody was looking to work with him. So many of us were blessed, to be a part of that record. And for me, from the moment of Tupac getting out of jail, I became like him and Suge, little personal radio. So every time that I was recording these songs in the studio at Can-Am, I'm in one studio, Pac's in the other one. He's like, hey, I'll be in there recording. Like if they pull the real reels out of my music, I'm sure it's a lot of sessions of Pac busting in the door, like, hey, come here, nigga, you gotta come in the back. I got us doing this. No, and I'll be like, man, come on. And he come up on the mic and start playing. And I eventually go back there, and it sounds like Picture Me Rolling, and Heaven Ain't
Crazy.
Hard to Find, and What's Your
Crazy.
Phone Number, and
Crazy.
and Little Homies, and a lot of songs that I was even taken off of later. But I remember those sessions, and I was elated that he chose me. You know what I mean? Like, cause Nate Dogg was there, and he had an opportunity to do great work with him, but he would always pull on me to be like, man, I got us when you got to bring your ass, and I get in there and I do it, man. And here
Do
we
you?
are, 25 years later.
That's crazy. Hey, and all of the records you named to me still bang today. They still
Wow.
go off. Like you can put them on. I don't care how young or old you are. Them
Yeah,
songs still. Like, hey, who? Like, even if it's an older person, they hear them. I ain't mad at you. How can you deny that? Like the
yeah, man.
record is talking about
Wow.
something I feel like everybody goes through. Like you grow up,
Yeah,
your homies pick different paths, you pick a different path, and it's no hard feelings, but we just ain't kicking it the way we used to kick it. Who can't relate to
wow.
that? You ain't gotta be a
Listen.
thug to get into that song. And for
Yeah.
you to kill it the way you
Wow. Thank you,
did,
man.
and for him to give you the space, like, no, let him rock. Do you remember
Yeah.
the moment where he was like, hey, I want to use him heavily on this record. I want to start using Danny Boy more. Did you know, or like you said, or did it just happen organically to where, hey, I'm in the studio, he's putting down records, I'm jumping on it?
Well, as I said, like I think I recorded, so I probably was the most recorded song out artist during that time because I stayed in the studio no matter who went in the back. But Pac would always pull on me. It just I think I was in the right place at the right time. And if he wasn't recording, I was hanging out with him and Pac.
Ah,
You know what I mean? I mean him and Suge. So it's like I was always around. And anytime he was in the studio, Pac went on a recording like tangent when he got out. Like you couldn't stop him from recording. And every time that he was there, I just like I was in the studio anyway. And I just think, that I was just there at the right time.
so let me ask you this, because I've always been curious about this. When you did what you did on the records, were you just like freestyling? Did he just say go in the booth and do what you do? Like, how did you have it written out? Like, how did you do that?
Most of those sessions were nothing but me just going in sometimes and just kind of coming up with something and singing, or just listen to what he's saying and I'll pull out of it what I want to say and put it together. Kind of like I always do when I work with artists today. Like I'll kind of listen. If they got a verse, let's listen to it and kind of put something to it. So some of those songs I just came up with listening, and some of them was like, man, we gonna say this. And the Pac had in his mind the way that he wanted things to go, and the chemistry was there. You know what I mean? Like it was songs that I was on that I know I didn't fit on. Like what the hell am I doing on this song? But
Like which
Pac
one?
wanted me
Give me
on
an
it.
example.
Shit, what's your phone number? You know what I mean? I'm 15, 16 years old. That tells me I'm a church boy. And I'm like, if you really wanna fuck with me, I'm ready. My grandmother, if she would have heard me on singing on that song, bro,
You
I
killed
probably would
that
have been,
though.
thank you, I probably would have been deported back to Chicago. Like,
Right, right, right. Yeah, the Prince sample, right? That's the one with the Prince
yes,
sample. Everybody,
absolutely.
this is Black History Month. Like I said, if you
Yeah.
tuned in right now, we got the legendary Danny Boy on the King's Hour,
Wow, thank you.
saluting to all the kings. Everybody that come on here, we giving them their flowers because it
Amazing. Thank you,
matters.
man.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
we get into this thing where it's like, okay, you put out music back in the day, and we don't look at our artists like we should until God
Wow.
forbid something happens, or
Happened to,
you
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we need to be letting these people know, including yourself, like, hey,
Thank you.
what you're doing still matters. It
Thank you, man.
still matters. Like
Wow.
your voice right now is probably popping up on more people's phones than a lot of the current singers because of
Oh,
the
wow.
songs you were on.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
understand? Like
Yeah.
like
And I'm here,
those
y'all. So
songs.
y'all better follow my Instagram. Like, don't be talking about y'all been looking for me.
Hey, follow him on Instagram. It's Danny Boy Stewart at Danny Boy Stewart, correct?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Y'all
Thank you,
follow him
man.
on Instagram because we
Yeah.
gonna get it. We just working our way forward, everybody.
I
But
get it.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get
Yeah.
into his brand new album,
Yes.
Blackheart,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
coming
Yes.
out February 14th. The brand new singles. Hey, the single is banging, quality music.
What?
This song,
Yes.
climbing up on the Billboard charts. I seen you posted that on Instagram. I'll be following. I'll be following.
Yeah.
So y'all,
Yes,
if y'all
sir.
got your iPhones, if you go ahead and pre-order it already. You can download it
Please
to your
do.
phone ahead of time.
Yes.
Just go ahead and
Yes.
download it to your phone. So when February 14th drops, it's already there. I know we get busy. I
Yes.
know, you know what I mean? Just go ahead and
Yep.
do it now if you're listening to
Go
me.
get it.
Danny Boy, Blackheart, y'all
Please.
can pre-order it now. So let's go. All Eyes on Me comes out. All Eyes
Yeah.
on Me comes out, right?
Hmm.
Massive success. And I'm sure Death Row is it's on and cracking, right? It's
Yeah.
man,
Running everything. Running the
Tupac
city.
is on top of the like he was the top artist. He
Yes.
was the when All Eyes on Me came out, like California Love is playing everywhere. I Ain't Mad, like all of these records are everywhere.
Yes.
And he goes in to record Machiavelli. And
Yeah.
you get a chance to
The
be a part.
Moheat.
Man, you're on a
Yeah.
record with other legends as well.
Yes.
You being the young legend, you're on there with Aaron Hall.
With guys I grew up with, guys I grew
Man,
up singing their music
how was
that I
that? How
dreamed
was
of
that
working with.
session? Tell me about that.
Man, I dreamed of working with Jodeci and Casey and JoJo and Aaron Hall. Those are from the groups that when I was in school and singing in talent shows and singing with groups, I sang their songs before.
Wow.
So now here it is, I'm standing in the studio recording with these guys and like being taken in as a little brother. It was after we did a Mother's Day event where Suge fed single mothers,
Mm.
is why I met Casey and JoJo. And shout out to Casey and JoJo mama. It was because of their mama. Because their mama was like, who is that? Who is that? Ain't that boy him? And that's all KC. When KC would explain, sometimes he'd be like, "Man, we JoJo." They'd be like, "We had to take you in as a little brother because our mama was like, that's a singing little nigger." And then to go in the studio and record with those guys, with the JoJo, one of the best vocalists
Oh
to
man,
ever
Joe.
record.
I don't think they talk about him enough. I think
Listen,
JoJo is still criminally underrated in my book.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
verse he had with Jodeci is like,
yeah,
I'm
boy,
sure other singers were studying that dude. Like just
yes,
the range JoJo has,
yes,
crazy.
yes. And to be in the studio with that, I like to call it all Death Row University. You know what I mean? I had an opportunity to go to be in places that nobody could have paid to get me. No school could have gotten me next to those people or gotten that experience of how it is to work next to legends or to see how it's really done. And to work by one of the best side by side and watch one of the best to ever do it, watch Suge do what he did. And to grab Tupac out and to work on those albums and to meet the Casey and JoJo's. Man, I couldn't have paid. I wouldn't turn that in for nothing in the world.
Man, that is so dope that you say that, because on this show, I like to give out a lot of positivity.
Yeah,
We got negativity that's everywhere.
it's
You can
enough of
find
that.
that everywhere. But
Yeah,
what I do want to highlight, and a lot of times I bring this up, you know, we're all flawed in different ways. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? But the fact that Suge Knight was able to pick the artists he picked and show them what it looked like to know
yeah,
their business and
yeah,
say, hey, no, our masters matter. Our
yeah.
masters matter. Because not only that, the Death Row roster, that's one of the best rosters I've ever seen. That's one of the, if you name for name, if that's an all-star team. And I'm
Wow,
talking about all of you. Danny
wow.
Boy,
Thank you.
Miss Chalet, rest in peace
Wow,
to
yeah.
Jewel, like
No
these
doubt.
amazing
Wow,
singers that you throw on a track and other R&B singers are studying you guys. That's
wow,
how
that's
y'all
amazing.
killing it like that. And the rappers,
Wow,
Corrupt, Pac, uh,
yeah,
Daz, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
top notch producers, DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, they're two of the best that ever did it.
Yes,
So you guys
absolutely.
had, man, you guys literally to me had the all-star team. It
That's
was
amazing,
the
man.
it was the hip hop and R&B Motown, all
Yep, it
in
was.
this one on this one label, all making this incredible music together. You go in there, you do toss it up. Is that another one where Pac pull you to the side like, "Hey, jump on this. I got some
That was
legends on."
something. So that was something I think Suge kind of came up with because it was kind of a diss record at first to Dr. Dre, and I think it was No Diggity had been recorded, and we recorded Toss It Up to the No Diggity track at first, and they kind of stopped it from being released, so they went in and did a whole nother track to it, and then we shot some videos to it, and that's how they came about. But that right there was designed like they picked like we Casey and JoJo Suge, we gonna have Casey on the Aaron Hall, get your ass from him. Like I can remember him talking about that song. I can remember them talking about how we gonna get on that song and make them niggas mad.
And you want to know what's crazy about that song? If you listen to Pac's first verse, right? You listen to the
Hmm.
first verse, and then I think his second verse comes on.
Yeah,
Two totally different vibes on both verses.
I don't know what happened in between those things, but in between the
The
verses,
first verse, Lord have mercy, Father help us.
Father
Like
help us all.
he's talking, he's getting at the ladies. But
Yeah,
that second verse when he comes on, he's upset and he's
mad as hell, Dre.
man. Hey,
Rudy at
y'all,
this other day. Oh my God. Oh my God.
like
What the
where
fuck
did
are
he
they in
take
the
this
movie?
song?
Is this
Y'all
why
singing,
Dr. Dre ain't calling Daddy Boy? I'm Dre. It has nothing to do with me, bro.
y'all was singing beautifully, y'all killing it. You, Aaron Hall, Casey,
God, dog.
and then Pac come back on and he just I don't know what happened in between first and second verses. If y'all listening to this interview,
Oh,
y'all go
bro.
listen to Toss It Up. Listen to the
Actually,
difference.
the true essence of a Gemini.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, for real,
Four
for
different
real.
people, one session.
That is amazing. Hey, and so Machiavelli comes out,
Yes.
and unfortunately, it was after Pac passed away, and I'm sure you talked about this on numerous interviews. Were you in Vegas at the time?
Yes, I was. Yep.
Wow, you were in Vegas, and so were you at the club when everything happened, or you?
So I was on my way to go to the fight, and I kind of spoke about this in my book called Stranded on Death Row. It's available on all platforms.
Stranded on death
Amazon
row.
book. Yep. And I was on my way to the fight, and something red got on the back of my pants.
Oh my gosh.
And the valet dude was like, hey, you got something on your pants? And I looked at it and I called Suge. Be like, man, go get something else to wear. I'm gonna leave you a ticket. It will call. Da, 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 da. By the time I went and got some more clothes, he like Suge, like, man, that nigga done knocked this motherfucker out. I'll meet you at the club. Da, 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 da. And I went to the club and we waited. We were in there waiting for them to come to arrive to Club 662. And some dudes came in, security busted in the door, and it was like Suge just got killed. Is actually what they said
Oh my
on the
gosh.
strip. And we things kind of went haywire after that. Security started snatching up all the artists, trying to figure out what was really going on. And later that, a couple few hours or so went by is where we really kind of pulled everything, gathered everything together.
Right.
Yep.
And so, okay, I'm just trying to progress it along so we
Yep.
go get into the brand new album. But
Yeah.
okay, so Pac unfortunately passes away. Suge
Yeah.
ends up going to jail, and
Yes.
you're still signed to the label. As a matter of fact, right? And as a matter of fact,
Yep.
you're on Dysfunctional Family, the
Yep.
soundtrack. You have a song on
Still
there.
working.
You're
Yep.
you're still working. So what is going through your head at that period? Suge is locked up.
Mm.
Pac is gone.
I really at that time I was like in my mind I was like I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna definitely stay here with Suge, because of how good he was to me and my family. I didn't understand the business as much as far as things that probably was due to me, but I didn't feel privy to anything. You know what I mean? Because I understood that I was just a little artist that hadn't really dropped a record yet, and even though I had been on some records uh, that was clamming the charts and things like that, but after that it just kind of like everything was like something was swept, from under my feet because I was right up under Suge and I was right next to Tupac almost daily. and like money wasn't a problem or worrying about bills or anything like that. So, even with me being on the radio at that time, things got rough for me. You know what I mean? The people that was so welcoming to me wasn't as welcoming when the money went away, or a lot of people changed during that time as well.
Wow. So you're going through that period, and I'm sure that was rough. Like,
Yeah, no
that
doubt.
was that's not what you had in mind when you came to Cali. To what I mean? Like, I
No,
know
no.
that was crazy.
No, but I
And
got more experiences after that. You know what I mean? Because when I left after the demise of Death Row and all this stuff was going on, I started singing backgrounds for other artists. Tina Marie was one of my first.
rest in peace, Tina Marie.
But yes, I had an opportunity to go out on a Tina Marie tour with her. And then I sang for Casey and JoJo and Jodeci for a while and New Edition. So, I went through I like, again, even though I say Death Row University, I went to some undergrad stuff where I still got experience of stuff that I just didn't get at Death Row Records. And some of the things that I missed, that was still something that I guess God wanted me to see. You know what I mean? To
Right.
be able to, I knew my ability. I know that I was gifted. I had already connected myself to my gift of singing, and I didn't sometimes understand, why am I singing behind somebody that I know I should be singing next to? But it was just God showing me that this is what you got to do to be able to see the full stage. I got to be able to sing in the background. And I had an opportunity to see it from there. I had a chance to see what the artist was doing and pick up some things that I would do or that I could take along the way and see how the audience responded. And so, and I thank God for the moment where I'm at right now, man. I did this at 16 years old, and here it is. I'm 45 now, and I'm ready to, like, my energy is just as good when I was 17 years old. I'm ready to run across some stages and really sing.
That's amazing, man. So let's dive into it, man. Brand new album. Brand new album. Black Heart. If y'all watching online on my YouTube, you see the
Yeah,
heart he throwing up right now.
yeah,
We getting
Black
back
Heart.
into some grown
Yes,
quality, great writing, great production, something you can
yes,
play not just this year, but something you
yes.
can play. Like, when I was listening to this song, I'm like, okay, this is quality.
Wow, thank you, man.
This is something like, okay, this
Yeah.
can stay in a playlist, brother, because
Wow.
you hear it when people take their time and, like, okay, I want to make sure this is right. I don't just want
Yeah.
to throw
Wow.
anything out there or try to capitalize off what's going on. I want to come out with some quality music that could stand the
Yeah.
test of time. And when I
Yes.
hear this song, it's like, man, you could play that. You could play that 5 years from now. You can play that 10 years from
Thank
now.
you.
It will still work. It's a Valentine's Day. Oh man, if you got your lady at home, fellas,
Yes.
you know what I
Yes.
mean? Make sure you got the Black Heart in rotation. I
Please.
already
I'm
got it
telling y'all.
downloaded on my phone. I'm
Thank
ready to
you.
go. I'm talking to the fellas who don't. Get
Yeah.
Black Heart, put it on the phone.
Man.
I'm talking
Please.
about quality music. Break down for me your mind state in going into making this album.
So, shout out to producer. I'm sorry, the legendary Toxic. Produced it in Black House. His team producing and writing. It was a great moment again. Right place at the right time. I was going through a breakup, and I had been in this deal for about a year and a half, before COVID, like during COVID time as well. So I recorded a little bit and didn't record. And usually during a breakup, I break down. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, I don't want to record. I don't want to, let me pull my thoughts together. And I'm in the basement. I don't want to do nothing. And I went to the studio, and within 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we came up with about 18, 19 songs.
that's amazing.
Um, and it's just amazing the time, so fast, how it was done. But everything, I feel like everything that I've been through, in my last the years of being an adult, in my adult years, through relationship and how to heal through relationship and how to be happy and to get back to love and things that I was missing. All of those records were just coming, and to be able to go in and explain those records, like this song, an interpolation of a Donny Hathaway song,
Mm.
like one of the best singers in the world. And during this time, even when I was naming the album, when they hear these songs on it, everybody like, man, I don't. Why you name it Black Heart? Because when I think of the black emoji of a black heart, a lot of people think sadness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They think, some people was like, man, it just say death. It says, And for me, you know, some people think a red light mean go.
Right, right.
And it absolutely means stop. What do I mean by that? To me, is what you take it as.
Mm-hmm.
I take the black heart when I was thinking that it's the same meaning as a red heart when we talk about love. But my black heart to me means like it's about black love. It's about black love that we got to get back to. And that music is one thing that evoked that. Like, you know what I mean? Put on a song about riding down the street and doing something crazy and da 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 da. If you put that song on long enough, you could be a banker. But if you keep listening to it, you'll think that you that person that can run in there and do exactly what that song said do. Because that's what music was created for, to set a mood.
Mm.
It was created to set a mood. And we can go back all the way to working on the railroad, working in the fields. I've been working on the railroad. They was doing them songs to get along in the day, to make the day go by, to make me feel good about myself, and to be doing something together. And that's what I think the black heart mean to me. It's about black love, man. And it ain't all about roses and good days. That's not what I learned out of being a grown man, from being on death row and being up to now. Love ain't always gonna be peaches and cream. You're not gonna always love the person that you're in love with.
Right.
You're not gonna It's not gonna always be like that. But what true love is withstanding their time. True love make you come through it. True
Mm.
love will make you say, when you break up with somebody, you got some people that break up and they be like, "I never love again." The devil is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna love till I get it right. I'm gonna
Right.
love till somebody love me the same way that I love, because God created love, and that's one of His favorite gifts. And I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to do some songs that invoke that, and I hope that everybody kind of listen to it. It ain't no gospel; it's to tell you the truth. I got a song called "OD." But some of us OD on some people that we know we don't need.
Mm.
Damn, I'm saying it for you. I just gotta have you. I crave seeing you. I need you. As soon as I get off of work, boom, listen to it. Then I got songs
OD
like
is
Coffee and
available
Tea.
online too. OD is available
Boom,
right now.
listen.
Go download it. Go down. I got you, brother. I
Thank
got
you,
you.
brother.
Keep going. Keep going.
And crazy. When I'm alone in the room, sometimes I stare at the wall, 'cause I lost my baby.
Mm.
I got the candles lit. Is my mind playing tricks? Have I lost my baby? It's driving me crazy. God knows I really tried to make it right, my lady, but all alone. Could I have been wrong to love you? Maybe I was crazy. I can't wait, man. I'm in there
Man,
like,
hey, talent, y'all.
man, I'm
Skills.
so
Not
ready.
just talent, skills. Y'all
I'm
hear it.
so ready.
This is not no auto-tune singer we talking to today, baby. This is somebody
Thank
who
you.
could pick up a mic, walk into a room,
I
and turn
love
it out.
singing.
I seen a clip, brother. Who were you singing with? Were you singing with Genuine?
When was it? Because
I,
I
I
done a couple clips with JUI. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I seen a clip. You were singing with Genuine in like a back room somewhere. You guys met
Oh, I
up.
think it was in the bathroom. That was Drew Hill, and
Drew
it was
Hill,
a couple of guys.
yes, that's who it was. It was
Yeah.
Drew
Shout out to
Hill.
them.
And when I
Yeah.
heard you singing, I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
man,
Wow. Thank you,
like you know what I
man.
mean? Like you hear the people that really are skilled and talented and know what they're
Wow.
doing. So if y'all tuned into the King's Hour, y'all just heard them put it down. Y'all just heard them
Yes,
put it down.
please.
And I'm so grateful you was able to display that on the show, brother. I feel
Oh
honored.
wow. Thank
I
you, man.
feel honored,
I'm so
man.
excited, man.
OD is available right now. This
Yes.
love. Um, you got a couple sing. Are all those songs that are out right now? They're going to be on the album too.
So this song, this is a single that's number 26 on the charts. I'm praying to go to top
Climbing,
10. Y'all pray for me.
climbing.
It's climbing. Thank you to all the radio stations. Thank y'all for playing. And then you have Crazy. If you pre-order it, it gives you a song called Crazy, and OD. That if you pre-order it, it'll give you some songs which is going to be on the album. It's 14 songs plus the intro, which is called Black Heart. And I'm getting ready for the album release party here in Chicago. I'm so excited about it, man. It's a black carpet event that we're doing, a love night, night of love, where I'm singing every song on the record. We recording it. We're gonna be live. I mean, look, I get an opportunity to do something that I've been craving to do for so long. Here it is, 25 something years later, that I'm getting an opportunity to sing. All I ever wanted to do is sing my own songs. So I'm learning at this point how to sing my own songs. Like I don't even know the words to every song that come on that's coming out. But I'm working continuously on making sure that I present it right.
That sounds like that's gonna be a fly night, man. Are you gonna be have it
Mhm.
recorded and
Yes,
so people who are not in Chicago maybe they can see it and view it and get to experience it? Like that would be
absolutely,
dope. That would be something I would
absolutely.
love to see, man. Because
Yep.
um, just the fact that you're able to do what you want to do as far as
Yeah,
your art and present it the way you want to present it, because you said something real powerful that you're showcasing black love, and
yeah,
the fact that the music we make, the lyrics that we have, it can influence us one way or another. A lot of
man.
times people say, oh, it's just entertainment. Oh, it don't matter. Oh, it's just the beat. It does matter. It does matter. You know, music is powerful. Like you said, you illustrated it so well as far as going back to the railroads, going back to our ancestors,
Yeah,
kind. You know, like all music meant something. It
yeah,
does, and the
yeah,
fact that black love is still alive, black love should
man.
still be talked about, not
Everybody
just
don't want to be everybody don't want to be a sneaky link. Everybody don't want
right.
to be a side piece. Like when you and I think I don't judge no people that's for it because there's some things that I done in my younger day
Me too.
that it'll take this size of a book for me to tell on myself.
Right.
But what it's about, even in the midst of that, I'm always searching for real love. And one thing I appreciate my old man always told me, I would go through breakups and he'd be like, man, one thing you got to remember, son, is you will never know who really love you. The only thing you can really verify and know in your life is who you really love.
Mm,
That's it. So you got to be open to love. And I can't control who love me or how you love me because some people don't even know how to love right. Some
right.
people need a song to tell them how to, the mom and days when mama sung the song to you,
Man.
you probably didn't know how to dance with your lady, but he said he was, sexual healing. He showed you what to do in those songs. And we have to get those kind of songs around. And shout out, I think it was to NLE Chopper, if I'm not mistaken, one of those. I think that's him, or the NBA YoungBoy. One of them. He was something I read the other day. He was how bad he felt from the music that he was putting out to the community, and he said how scared he was that people heard some of the things that he talked about, and this way he led him. So to
Mm,
get that much growth and maturity, to see that man, it's what we putting out in our neighborhoods, man. These are girls feel like they can't be loved because niggas don't know how to love or da 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 da.
right. Right.
I ain't got to
Right.
be doing that. No, sir.
And like you said, everybody, we it's not a judgmental point of view, but it is to show we're all not one person. We
Yeah.
all don't have one singular thought. You can
Yep.
go your way, right? You can do you what you do, and I'm gonna love you, but I just don't get down like that.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? I want to
Absolutely.
make my music a little different. I'm not judging you, homie. Do your thing.
Not
Do
at
your
all.
thing.
And
You know,
and
because
it's
I
all
was there
needed.
one day. I was there.
It's all needed. It's
Mm-hmm.
all needed. A balance of hip hop music and gangster music. Because, when you walk outside of your house, if I didn't hear some of the stuff that these young people were saying in songs, I would be oblivious to what's going on in the world.
Right.
I wouldn't
Right.
know. I wouldn't know to look out for somebody that's how a Percocet or how that look or what that person looked like. I would be a blonde in the streets.
Yeah.
You understand? So I want to be abreast to what's going on, but I can't. That can't be everything. That's all I'm feeding myself. That's all that
Right.
I'm putting in my body. We are what we listen to. We are what we listen to.
Right.
Look how it motivates you when you hear the right song and make you want to just. That's why the DJ can get you going in the club because he know the right song to get you to moving. So does the devil know the right words to get you to make the wrong move?
Mm.
And I want to
Mm.
make sure that what I'm saying from this point on, yeah, I did that before. And the way that God look at it is because I know people have seen some other interviews that I did. Yeah, I said that. I meant what I said.
Right.
But when I go back to God at night and I talk to him, he be like, forgive it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it moving. Forgiving, dude, you did that a long time ago. Show them who the new person is.
Mm.
Show them how the real person, show them who your grandmama showed you to be.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
That's what it's showing me right now at an older age. And I thank God that he's giving me the energy that I can run where the young people run. I run with you. Only difference but between me knowing if I'm your age is I ain't got no hair, but I can put a hoodie on and still go there. Period.
Talk to him. And people need to hear this. People need to hear
Yeah.
this from people like yourself who And I'm gonna say it again. You legendary out here, brother. There's a
Thank
lot of
you, man.
singers. They'll never be what you are to this hip hop and R&B game, because
Thank you.
the songs that you did were just so massive. They still get played today. I mean, I was playing "Picture Me Rolling," and I'm like, man, like this song is so classic, and you on there just killing it. Heaven
Man,
ain't hard to
I seen a
find,
post. I seen a poster like LeBron James riding in like one of them songs one time. And I was like,
man.
man, I'm this close. I'm in the car, LeBron. I'm this close.
Think about how many singers that won't get that opportunity because
Yeah,
they don't have those like you got
yeah.
classic records you're a part of. And the fact
I
that
don't
you're
take it
on
for
here,
granted.
talking about making the music your way, and
Yeah,
the mind state behind it, I think is real important. You talking about
thank you.
black love, how it's not just ups, because sometimes we could get too positive and not be truthful. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And just
that's
ignore.
sometimes the reason why love don't work. Because
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how to be truthful. I don't want to tell you that because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to tell you I want to be with three people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm scared. Some people might be for that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start learning how to talk to people and loving them for where they are. Period, man. I'm so humble. Even each week, as I do this music and I work on this album, man, I am bummed, and I work at the funeral home about 3 times a week. It humbled me. It humbled me because I get an opportunity to see people that they love that they'll never see again. It humbled me because
Wow.
most of the time it's somebody that loves somebody, and the only thing that did separate them is death. So while I'm here on this earth, I got to do everything that I can to do one simple thing: love thy neighbor.
Mm. Talk to
I
him,
got to do
man.
one simple thing. I got to, like, you know what I mean? Stop abusing love and saying I love this girl or this guy, this relationship, and you really don't love them.
Mm.
Like if it's a one night stand, let's talk about it, play the right music, and let's get it over with. But I will not be responsible for destroying somebody's heart because I've been through that. I know what it feels to be let down. I know what it feels to be a door closed in my face. I know what it feels for somebody to leave me and not give me a reason. So I'm not going to invoke that.
Wow. Hey, okay, so we got a good 5, 6 minutes left. Before I let you
Yeah.
get out of here, give me um, another track or two that's on this album that we can look forward to that you excited about people hearing.
Just friends.
Just
A
friends,
song called
okay?
Just Friends. If you getting married, y'all get ready to book me for that wedding because it's
Woo.
one of them. To me, it's like a wedding cut that I really really love. Just Friends, and one of them is the other one is OD, and the other one not OD because the OD is out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, OD is
Singing,
out.
you got me. So that's OD, and there's another one, Coffee and Tea.
Coffee and
So
tea, okay.
refreshing, so refreshing, man. I've been shooting at Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks for that to be that morning coffee song that they use. I mean, it's so fitting for that, that morning after before we just depart from each other. Would you like some coffee or tea? It's one of those songs that remind me of like a baby face, nice acoustic song. So I'm just so proud uh, that I'm able to be a part of this project. God just used me to kind of use to do the vocals and to express the song. But like
Right,
I'm sometimes surprised because I prayed for a project like this for so long, and the thumbs up that I've been getting, and to be able to go from track to track, and a lot of people's like, man, this sounds like R. Kelly. I got some cuts on there that man like that pick up where R. Kelly left off as far as music is concerned, and it's a void that's missing.
yes, it
Like
is.
one thing we
It's
can say
missing.
what you want about R. Kelly, you can say what you want about him,
It's
but
missing.
he does songs that made us want to. Man, he talked about a Jeep and made you want to have a girl.
Mm,
It's like I
mm.
made you want to lust. Like, do you remind me of my Jeep? Like, God, come on. Like
Right,
he made metaphors. He poured things together. That it was a lot of babies created. There was a lot of
right.
relationships, a lot of dating involved in those songs. So to be able to pick up that flag, I'm happy.
Man, and you being from Chicago as well, and that's interesting you bring that up. Chi-Town represent.
West
And
Side,
and
yes.
and it's funny you say that because my take on that is this. We're all flawed, like I said earlier. And I don't like the way we just so easy to throw everything away with
Yeah,
our people. We do that with us a lot. And
yeah,
it's primarily with us.
yeah.
I was watching A Different World the other day, the TV show. And I was like, this was such an amazing show for people to see. Because it didn't
Yeah.
just show us one way.
Yeah.
Whitley, she came from a background that they had money.
Yeah.
And Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
not so much. And Jada Pinkett's character, everybody was different. And
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, that was a Bill Cosby offering, but he canceled, right? I can't show my kids that so they can get some jewels from the show. Like, that's crazy how we do that. But I'm so excited.
Even what you mentioned it, like our brother, sorry to cut you off, our brother
No,
that's
go
in
ahead.
Chicago, Kanye West.
Yes.
I pray for him daily. I pray for him all the time when I say a prayer because he's done a lot of great work in this music business. He broke a lot of barriers that none of us have ever been across. I wish I would have came up with one of the shoes or some of the designs that he had. And as you said, we throw people away
Yeah,
so
we do.
often when it's time for us to start praying and saying, man, like, the devil will attack the best thing about you.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the leader. He don't want the shoulders. He wants the head.
Man.
He don't want the back and the chest. He wants whoever think they look good. And that's who he try to attack. So, pray for me, y'all, as I pray for him. Pray for each other, man. And that's all I got to say, man. We got to start supporting each other more. That's it.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. Now, usually, before I let you go, first of all, I want to say this. Everybody, please, if you're listening, February 14th, let's support our artists. Especially, let's support, you see him throwing up the heart right now. Let's support artists that are talented, with skills, that have a point of view. He's bringing some music that you can vibe to, ride with your lady in the car, even if you got your kids. Get back to the great music, baby.
Please
So,
do.
February 14th, download it
Yes.
to your phone. It's going to be on Spotify, all streaming platforms,
Everywhere,
correct?
all platforms. Yes, it is. Available for download for pre-orders right now.
Man, I'm honored to be able to talk to you today, my brother. I grew up
Thank you
I
so
grew
much.
up in South Central Los Angeles. I'm a big
Yes,
fan
sir.
of the music that it was in every car. Me and my homeboys
Yeah.
would go to the Slauson Swap Meet to get all y'all records, so it's an honor
Wow.
and a privilege to definitely speak to you. And it's only right. Like I said, Black History Month, Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Wow.
What I usually do, and I want you to do me this favor. What I usually do is give everybody like a word of the week, something motivational that can take them through the week. And if it would be an honor for you to do it this week, and just, whether it's a striving artist, whether it's somebody in a not so good financial situation, what can you say to them to keep them motivated?
Wow. What comes to mind, the acronym PUSH.
Mm,
Pray until something happens
pray until something happens.
and don't prostitute the gift.
I
Don't
love it.
prostitute the gift. It's non-negotiable. It's not about money. That's not what it's about. It's not about money. It's about the gift. And the Bible says that your gift make room for you,
Mm,
no matter what situation that you're in. Sometimes we screaming and we need something. It's already in your house. It's in your cabinet. Open your cabinets. Open your closet. Open some of those boxes. Open some of those envelopes. It's already supplied. It's in your house already. We just got to learn to work with what we have.
y'all heard it from him. Y'all heard it from him. Danny Boy, thank you so much for being on the
Thank you
King's
so
Hour.
much.
Everybody, y'all,
Absolutely.
please follow him, Danny Boy Stewart on Instagram, correct?
Yep, Danny Boy Stewart on Instagram, Danny Boy on Facebook, and shout out to Hot 702 and my
Hot
girl
se-
Ikaris. I love you. Look, I'm always at home when I come down there, man. I love her. I love y'all movement, and I can't wait to come to the studio again.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to sitting down with you when you come out here, man.
Absolutely, we're gonna do a big. We have to do a Hot 702 showcase or something.
Oh man, I love
King,
that.
look, I'm
I
wait,
love
wait, come on,
I
King,
love
let's
that. Hey,
do
E, you heard it.
it.
You heard it, E. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for your time. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you, man. Thank you
God
for
bless
being
you,
on.
man.
God
Thank you
bless you.
so much, man. Much love, brother.
All right, much love.
Peace.
Later. Thank you to Danny Boy for being on the King's Hour. Amazing episode, man. Tell a friend, Blackheart, February 14th. And y'all heard it here, baby. Thank y'all for tuning in to the King's Hour. I'm going to see y'all next week, 1 to 2, at Hot 702.5. Yeah.